You're in a situation where they've got you duped into this reincarnation cycle. You get entities and mind control manipulating your mind to do things your spirit would never do. I don't care if you're a serial killer on death row right now. You didn't do any of that. You'll know when your veil lifts who is really doing that and how they're doing it. Forgive them, they know not what they do. Yeah, entities, cancer, I told you about it in Healing Begins Now. That's theory right now. Wait till you see. Get rid of your guilt and shame. Some of the most loving spirits are hit hard early in life to take away their self-esteem, try to pervert them, corrupt them, make them hate themselves so they can tabulate everything. And you have got to understand your personality and your ego. You're like Russian dolls. You don't just have one body, really. You're like a body inside of a body inside of a body. Well, the body, the energy body inside of your body right now, that's where your mind is. That's where your ego is. People say, no, that's in the brain. No, no, no. The brain's kind of like a radio receiver. A radio receiver receives the signal. And so it may process that signal to carry out functions in the body or interpret it and kind of coordinate your mind with your eyes and ears and tongue and nose and your physical senses that'll light up on an MRI because of that. But your mind is not in the brain. Even if the brain lights up during certain thoughts, it is a conjugate to your mind, but that is not where your mind is. So, when your energy body leaves your body, your mind is there. The trick is they dupe you. They either come to you as God and tell you how bad you were, and don't tell you that demonic entities did all that shit through you, and then give you this ultimatum. Well, now you have to reincarnate to learn your lesson because of this, this, and this, and now you must suffer all of the things that you did. And they never tell you that it was a demon doing it through you. So now you become a victim. Do victims tend to become victimizers later in life? Oh yeah, yeah. So now they got you again. And the idea is to keep you in this cycle, to break your will over time. I've told you about that in the Healing Begins Now. So you need to know for yourself rather than hearing some guy like me tell you. Okay? Learn this language to life. I know this was a lot to take in. Again, I know. But this is what any spiritual elder knew. And let me give you a little hint. Time is not a factor. For example, you could watch a video of something that's like 5 years old, 20 years old, and that channel is open. In other words, a lot of people weren't psychically trying to talk to that person on the video. They'll respond to you the same way. This is how I learned it, man. I had to go through it. Reach up and touch your nose, I would think, and they'd reach up and do that. Grab your left earlobe, they'd reach up and do that. They'd run their hand through their hair. But they won't jump through hoops for you. It's like either you get it or you don't. That's how I learned that demons were controlling women in porn while their spirit was in bondage underneath. Like I said, anything can come up and mold that clay. The ego is the clay, and different things can speak through it. So that's why people can be conflicting, do you understand? Sometimes a demon could speak through someone's ego, and sometimes their spirit can. Duplicity, that's where it all comes from. That's what the spirit showed me. It had me watch porn on purpose and said, look, oh yes, you were masturbating to that, now look. And it lifted my veil and showed me through my mind's eye what was happening. Demons were controlling her body like a puppet and the man, and her spirit was in bondage, saying, I'm being tortured right now. They're controlling these bodies like puppets so that humans watch it and think that other humans want to do this. There are subliminal messages saying, this is hot, and I love this, and all of this, and then people are like, oh, yes, this is obviously other people are doing this, and I mean, they're totally destroying the connection to the spirit. But again, I'm not going to even go off on that. I'm not going to answer questions about that either. Either you choose to connect to the creative spirit and have your veil lifted, or you don't. I'm going to stop answering questions, specifics like this, if it's something that you can find out by connecting to the Spirit that creates everything. Do you understand that? I'm not your teacher. I'm not going to make it so you're dependent upon me for your answers. That's ridiculous. Absolutely stupid. It would be ridiculous. I am no longer going to answer interrogative questions about what I'm saying if you were stop being lazy and wanted to connect to the Creator, if it's something you could find out by doing that. And of course you can find out everything by doing that. Because all I'm doing is going against the creative spirit by doing that. You obviously need to connect to the creative spirit. This is very, very important. Okay? And if I keep answering people's questions, well, how do you see the subliminal messages? No, done. Enough. I gave a pretty good presentation in that YouTube video of subliminal messages, almost 30 minutes, explaining that. The rest is up to you connecting to the creative spirit. If you really want to see the subliminal messages, I mean the real ones, you have to connect to the creative spirit. Read the Talmud of Emmanuel. Now, even though there's some disinformation in there, even Christ said in that, they will try to call me God and take my teachings to promote their occult practices. That's Christianity. He gives the credit to the creative spirit. And if you're hooked on religion mind control, then Christ gives you an out. He says, denying me will be forgiven. Denying the creative spirit of life will not. He gives you an out. So if you think that you need to accept His name, which you don't know what it was anyway, as your Lord and Savior, first of all, that's worshiping the dead. His personality was not your Lord and Savior, and He was claiming the whole time. Ironically, I can't believe I read this like 3 weeks ago. I felt like I was reading my journal. He didn't take credit for it either. He's saying the same thing. People say, what do you think? Are you saying you're Christ? Oh my gosh, you're not getting this. No, I'm saying we have the same teacher. Why would the truth change? You heard that soon you will all be as He was. That doesn't mean you can have His personality. That means connecting to the creative spirit. It's available to all of you. Do you understand that? And He said, He's not special. Not without the creative spirit, He's not. If you want to call it Father and, the jargon used back then, fine. But He talked about the creator spirit. And He even said, any group that calls themselves God's children, that's ridiculous. And I had been saying that. I mean, that's to be God's chosen ones? No, that's a cancerous. Anybody who says that, any group who thinks they're better than other life, when Christ wouldn't even think He was better than a spider. That's... When your veil's lifted, there will be no more questions. You will know who is doing what. You will know. And they cannot discredit other people. Because the truth is, the answer is right in front of your face, and it always has been. You're just under mind control to not see it. It's kind of like cloaking them. When the creative spirit lifts your veil, you'll know, and it will be very emphatic with you. This is why you need to know the true language of life. You need to connect to the Creator Spirit. Then your answers will be revealed to you. All that was hidden will be shown to you. It's more than philosophy, man. I mean, I'm talking right now. Right now.